Hey guys, getting ready to do a little gun cleaning. I've built up an excess of dirty guns that now needs to be wiped the ledger clear, as it were, of my dirty guns. And I just thought of something. I was sitting here. I was reminded of a story and an opinion that I used to hold. So see, you guys have all. I just cleared both my handguns, by the way. You guys have all started following the channel since, or the channel and the blog and everything was created post acquisition of the M&P. There was a time when I could drink my cares away. Anyway, there was a time not all that long ago that I was die-hard 1911. Die-hard. If it don't start with a 4 and then with a 5, it ain't worth shooting. 1911's been doing it for over 100 years. It'll do it for the next 100. It was all we needed to be back-to-back World War champs, kicking them European fellers in the behind. I was all for it. Yeah, I was die-hard 1911. Okay. Over time, with the growth and maturity, and by growth and maturity I mean as I entered my late 20s, I started to do some reevaluation as I got exposed to the more kind of tactical community, built my AR, talking to guys, doing that, and doing research on my AR and different stuff for that. Started to see that maybe there was more to the pistol world, and that's where the M&P came from. M&P, obviously, that has been a great gun. As a side note, when I took my Defensive Handgun 1, Defensive Handgun 2 classes, I didn't clean my gun at all. And still haven't cleaned it. That's why I'm about to clean it now. But so that was over 700 rounds. Trouble-free rounds other than induced malfunctions that we did on purpose to practice malfunction drills. No malfunctions. So, sweet! I was reading a review of another pistol, which I actually looked at before I got the M&P, and still would like to have one of. It's just not urgent now that I have my M&P. But it was the FNS 9mm, which is a preloaded striker fired from FN. I believe it's 15 rounds instead of 17, maybe. But I wasn't aware. The ones that I were looking at didn't have thumb safeties on them. I was looking at them online, and I just found out through the review that I read that apparently those are law enforcement only, and that the civilian model comes with a mandatory thumb safety. And that's a big detractor for a lot of people. A lot of 1911 fans will say they don't like not having a manual safety, a manual thumb flip safety, like the M&P on the side there. Nice positive click, Not hard to turn off at all. You can see, I'll use my pinky here and just, like, it's not hard to flip off at all. No such safety on the M&P. The only safety is the trigger safety right here, which doesn't stop it from, with the manual safety on 1911, if it's on and you pull the trigger, nothing happens. The safety that this has is for drop. It's a drop safety. It's not. If so, you put your finger on the trigger. Obviously, it compensates by having a longer, more difficult take up, and then a break. Whereas the 1911 trigger is a short, almost. This is the take up on the 1911. I'll see. I'll do it like this. That's the take up, just that little bit, and then it breaks. Nothing. It's a really crisp trigger. The M&P, that's the take up. You see the difference there, and you see how much more white my fingertip gets right there. That is the effect of the take up, and then the break also more difficult. So that's the safety of the M&P 9mm, is the way that the trigger functions. This is going to be addressed to people who fully believe in the 1911 and the manual safety. True story, happened to me when I used to carry my 1911. I carried the 1911 for 7 years, almost every day. I carry it more religiously now, It doesn't have anything to do with the gun. It's just, again, as I've become more aware of things. But anyway, so the 1911 is obviously a long gun. If you look at the size comparison here, it's considerably longer than the M&P, but narrower, so it's still easy to carry. But because it's so long, especially if you carry on your hip, when you sit down, it tends to jam into your side or press into your hip really hard. So if I'd had a long day at work or something, and when I'd get in the car, I would pull it out of the holster and slip it behind my back in the car seat at the small of my back and just lay it there, knowing, that way it's not laying out in the open. It's still kind of hidden, and if something happens and the car bounces real hard, it's not going to go flying anywhere or whatever. And I never thought anything of it. I was just like, it's back there, it's safe. I got the safety on, and then it's got a grip safety on it. It'll be fine. Well, I went to get out of the car one day, and I reached back, and of course, as I gripped the pistol, I depressed the grip safety, but the angle that I was at made my finger go inside the trigger guard, and I didn't realize it at the time when I was grabbing it. I was like, it wasn't keying up. So I said I usually only did this after a long day at work, so you're not in your best senses. Well, as I pulled the gun out from behind my back with my finger inside the trigger guard and my hand on my hand on the grip safety, I realized that while it was back there, it rubbed up against the back of the seat and the safety went down without my knowledge. So I literally pulled the gun out, probably flagged my leg as I pulled it out, and certainly, was pointing it, and then, repositioning it into the holster, probably flagged my leg a couple times, with the safety off, with the hammer back, with a light trigger pull, a 230 grain hollow point in the gun, pointed at my leg. That is a recipe for disaster. I did a lot of things wrong, but the really big takeaway here is a thumb safety is not a fail-safe. I mean, it is a fail-safe, but it's not the be-all and end-all of firearm safety. So that's kind of what I just wanted to talk about, the safeties, and people that go like, oh, your gun doesn't have a safety, it's not safe. My gun has a safety, it is safe. Look, it's all it takes. Okay? Right there. That's the difference. And when your safety goes off, you have a lot less tension. It takes a lot less to discharge your weapon than it does mine. Well, I mean, they're both mine. But it takes a lot less pressure to discharge this weapon than it does to discharge this weapon. So there you go. Safeties. Not all they're cracked up to be, I guess. As what I'm saying, don't rely on your safety. This is my safety. Black Hawk Down. You remember it. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you watching my videos. I hope you keep doing it. Keep watching my videos. All 13 of you or whatever there are. Keep watching them. Please give me thumbs up. I like thumbs up. You can give me thumbs down if you want to. Somebody did. I don't know why. Anyway, thanks for your time, guys. And remember, this is America, and it's your freedom.